You have a homeless bill moving through the legislative process. Tell me a little bit about the origins. How did this bill come to light?
Last fall, I did a town hall for the homeless down at House of Charity, and I've done it for them before. Typically, though, I've never really known how to do anything about some of their requests. But as we were talking this last fall, a lot of the homeless had stated how they really wanted to go back to work. And so I started to ask questions. What's preventing you from going to work? What's preventing you from obtaining a job in the Spokane community? And then I started to ask questions. How many of you graduated high school? How many of you graduated college? How many of you have served in the military? How many of you started a business that didn't make it? And hands went up on all of these. And then I started to ask, what kind of jobs do you all want to work? And so really it became a dialogue that was really fun. And through all of that, that's where this bill got started.
A bill to help the homeless might not be something that people think about when they think about a Republican. How have you melded this bill with your conservative beliefs?
I think one of our priorities has always been taking care of the most vulnerable. And when I first started my journey to the legislature, on all of my literature, I was very clear that one of my priorities is to be a voice for the most vulnerable. It's taken some years to figure out how to do that. And so what this bill does is say one of their obstacles that the homeless was talking about was when they went to apply for a job, they would not have an address to put on the application. Or better yet, if they actually got the job, they didn't have an address to put on their forms, their hiring forms. And so what that did is it made employers nervous. Employers would ask questions, gosh, is this legal for me to hire someone that doesn't have an address, and so forth. And so it would actually, if they advanced that far in the process, a lot of them would lose a job at that point. And so what this bill does is it's permissive, meaning with the shelter's consent, a place like House of Charity can say, if I'm homeless, we validate that you are homeless, and you can use our address for employment purposes for a year. And that's really all this bill does. What I like about it is this was an idea that came from a homeless individual in the cafeteria of House of Charity, and his idea became House Bill 2014.
In the end, will this bill cost taxpayers more dollars?
There really isn't a financial impact. This isn't saying, how do we spend more money? How do we grow government to help the homeless? That's not what this bill does. This bill did not come from a lobbyist. It did not come from special interests. This bill literally came out of the mouth of a homeless individual that was echoed by a lot of his friends.